you all here, all of your beautiful smiling faces. We are going to do a gratitude-centered practice today, so keep in mind some things that you might be thankful for. As you ease your hips into the chair, start to begin to feel anchored in the seat beneath you. Heel-toeing feet out, hip-width apart. Resting hands gently in the lap. Again, if there's a mudra that you like, you're welcome to take that right off the bat. Gently easing into your breath. Beginning to feel the chest rise and fall. Beginning by simply noticing how the breath feels right now, in this moment before you begin your practice. Noticing the quality of the inhale, the exhale. Noticing the temperature, speed. I'm not trying to change anything. Just simply being present with the breath. Gently beginning to lengthen the inhale and then lengthen the exhale. Breathing in to a count of 4 and breathing out to a count of 5. Finding the pace of your breath. As you extend that inhale, feel your spine growing taller, the crown of your head reaching higher. On the exhale, feel the shoulders melt away from the ears. With each inhale and each exhale, feel your body becoming alive, awake, as the spine straightens just a little bit more. The shoulders peel down and back. The crown of the head reaches tall, finding some length along the sides of your neck. Now is a good time to bring to mind a mantra, a word, something that you're thankful for. Bring that to your mind. Keeping that one word, that one person, that one thing with you throughout your practice today. And then beginning to marry movement and breath as we bring the shoulders up towards the ears on the inhale, still extending that exhale. 5 counts down as the shoulders fall away from the ears. Let's continue to flow through that up towards the ears with the shoulders for a count of 4. And then down and back for a count of 5, moving slow like a turtle through peanut butter. It's a new phrase that I learned in a yoga training class, and I'm loving it. Feeling that very deliberate shoulder roll as you come up and down. Maybe making that movement just a little bit bigger. As we begin to bring our mind also into our core. So I want you to imagine now that your belly button is pressing back towards your spine. Continue to roll those shoulders, keep moving. So press that belly button back towards the spine. And imagine that the belly button is hopping on your elevator spine. Stay with me here. Next, up. Bring the hands down by the sides. Inhale, circle sweep everything tall. Exhale, heart center. We're going to flow through this for just a little while, warming up the shoulders, coming up on your inhale, and melting those hands into prayer pose on your exhale. Now with that belly button on your elevator spine, imagine that it is going to go up towards the heart, engaging that Mula Bandha, that root lock. Fancy way to say tighten your core and your pelvic floor. Maybe making those arm circles just a little bit more expansive. As we open and close, keep going. A few more seconds, finding meditation with movement. Feeling that core grow stronger and straighter. Yes, we're here for just a few more seconds. And then next, inhale, rise as tall as you can. And go ahead and melt that core. Hands come down to the legs as we begin to round, draw circles with our spine. You can move whichever direction you want, clockwise, counterclockwise. Don't worry, we're gonna mix it up. So whichever way you're going, just keep going that way as you find a little bit of movement through your spine. Maybe even feeling like you can bring the shoulders into it. Finding release through shoulder blades. Yes, we all look like we're just on magic mushrooms right now, and that's totally fine. Embrace it. Find some wiggly, fun, releasing, relaxing movement. As you continue to warm up through the spine, feeling every vertebrae stretch. Slowing it down. And let's go the other way. So whichever direction you were not going before, let's round it out. Shoulders move. Maybe making those circles a little bit more expansive now. Yes, you have a few more seconds on this side too. Finding some juicy heat through the back before we go into the real fun stuff today. And finding that beautiful straight spine, circling everything up, anchoring through the hips as you grow taller. Melting the hands down to heart center. Open up through the arms. Give the front of the room a big old hug. And then bring the right underneath the left as you hug yourself. Open up through those shoulders. Maybe elbows press up towards the sky. As you open up through shoulder blades, feel that beautiful back stretch. Maybe finding those eagle arms if that's your practice. You've only got a few breaths left. Come all the way down, sweep it out. This time left comes underneath the right. Give yourself yet another big old hug, like you're actually thankful for yourself. Pressing the elbows up if you want that deeper opening, or finding those eagle arms, up to you. And bring it all the way down. Circle sweep everything up. Bringing the hands behind the head. If you can get up with the hands behind the head, keep them here. If not, bring them down to your hips. As we come all the way into our chair pose. Woo! Finding that low chair pose. Make sure you can wiggle the toes, hello. Find your edge. Make sure the knees are, oh, your knees look great. What am I telling you? You all don't need that cueing. Reach all the way up. We're gonna swan dive it down, rain it down, all the way into a very deep forward fold. And just when you think this feels so juicy and beautiful, we're gonna glide those hands up the legs. Pause here. Press that belly button back one more time as it comes up the elevator towards the heart, engaging that core. Press the hips forward, rise tall. We're gonna flow through those just a couple more times, reining it into your chair pose. Yes. Feel those hips engage, strengthen, lengthen, and then rise up. Swan dive it down. Find that forward fold, beginning to flow with your breath. Halfway up, flatten back. Make sure there's a teacup on the back of your neck and you're not spilling it. Picnic table spine, pause here, engage, reach all the way up. Find your chair pose. Now this is where you get to customize. You get to pick your yogi poison. Hands can be reaching forward, they can be at heart center, or they can be on your hips. You figure out what works for you as you come all the way up. Swan dive it into that forward fold. Halfway up, flatten your back, shoulders peel away from the ears. Notice we're moving just a beat faster each time, all the way up. Find your version of chair. Oh, your knees look so great. This is wonderful. Reach up. 2 more times, all the way down. Halfway up, flat back, heart offer, reach tall. Begin to feel your heart beat. Lungs work, maybe warming up just a little bit. Reach up. All the way down. Halfway up, flat back, shoulders peel away from the ears, rise tall. Find your chair pose. Those shoulders, those hips, those knees should feel real juiced up by now. Reach up. Mountain. Reconnect with your breath. Reconnect with that mantra, that thing that you're thankful for. Keep it with you. It'll motivate you throughout your whole practice today. As you breathe. And then take a big old step over towards the window. Right side of the chair. We are just gonna come right on into it. Warrior 1. So glide that left foot back. Bend through that right knee. Maybe take a second here. We've got a little time to set up. So widen that stance if that feels okay. Maybe change the angle of that back foot. Make sure the knees don't feel funky or wonky or painful. Make sure that knee in the front, that right knee, is tracking over the ankle. And if you've got some knee stuff going on, maybe a little replacement work, it can even be a tiny bit behind. But right in line with that ankle is the sweet spot. That's where you're gonna get all of that juicy strengthening there. And then reach one arm up, or both, up to you. Finding your warrior, pausing here, tailbone pulls down, crown of the head reaches up. Feeling powerful, tall, strong, and then pulling that left hand back like you are shooting an arrow. That was the word I was looking for. Finding your warrior 2. We're only here for 1 hot second. We're still moving, so bring those right fingertips up towards the sky. Find your reverse warrior. Again, that chair always there for you. It's a beautiful option. Reaching tall before we reach back. Keep that bend in the front knee. No slackers through the thighs. And then windmill everything through your warrior 2. Find your side angle. So that forearm can come to rest very, very gently on that front leg. Maybe the hand stays on the chair as you tip the torso forward. Maybe it reaches towards the sky, that left hand. Or if it's okay with your shoulder, and this is a big fat if, you can reach forward. So you find what works for you. Pause here. We're going to begin to flow just a little bit. Coming back through our warriors. Reaching up, finding that humble warrior, that reverse warrior. Again, chair's there. You can use it. And then tilt that torso forward. Maybe that forearm comes to rest on that thigh. As you find your version of side angle, whatever's working for your body today. Inhale, come up. Big deep breath. Exhale, tilt forward. Find that movement through spines, shoulders. Inhale, we come up. Exhale, tilt forward. And as you move with your breath, try to slow the breath down just a little bit. Same way we did at the beginning of class. Maybe counting to 4 as you rise up. And then counting to 5 as you tilt down. We've got one more where you can practice that extended breathing. Reaching all the way up. And into side angle. Beautiful. Coming all the way through that warrior 2. Let's straighten that front leg. Oh, hallelujah. Thank goodness. Bringing both toes just a little bit more forward, we're gonna move into a pyramid. So, shortening that stance just a little bit. Try and square off your hips to the front of the room. If that back foot's tilted tiniest bit, totally fine. But try not to tilt it too much. We don't want to torque your knee out of alignment here. And go ahead and hinge forward. Feel a beautiful stretch to the back of that right hamstring. Should release through the leg, making the tilt come from the hips. So if you're rounding through your back's doing the work. Your leg's not getting the benefit. So try and come up using that chair to help support you. It's there for you. It's your friend. Oh, that feels so juicy, but we gotta come up. Sorry, down dog, back of your chair. Coming all the way to the back. Tickle the top of your chair with your piano key fingers. And let's widen our feet as wide as the mat. We're gonna find some movement here. Bringing one knee in, the other knee in, as hips glide back and forth. Ooh, things start popping. Totally fine. Everybody does it. Oh, this might even feel good on those inside thigh muscles, those adductors. Releasing through that low back. Maybe finding some bend in the elbows if the shoulders aren't feeling this today. Making sure that your body is all right with what you're doing. And as much as we love this, let's go ahead and come up and move to the left side of the chair, and we are gonna flow through some beautiful warriors on the other side. So bringing that right foot back now. Woo. Right foot comes all the way back into your warrior one. Using the chair if you need it. Sweeping one hand up or both. Making your adjustments in your warrior if you need. Bending generously through that front knee. Don't want to cheat yourself out of some strength building there. We're only here for just a second, making sure that that tailbone is pulling down as the crown of the head pulls up. Working with opposing energies there. It's like somebody's stretching out your spine. Pull that right hand back like you're shooting an arrow, finding your warrior two. Beautiful. Maybe that back foot changes just a little bit. Totally fine. And again, that chair is there for you. If you need to grab onto it, grab onto it. Pause here. Oh, your knees still look great. Yoga teacher joy. It's wonderful. Reach those left fingertips up towards the sky now, finding that reverse warrior. That humble warrior. As you find space between ribs and hips, not crunching through that low back too bad. And again, that chair's there for you. If you need it, grab it. You guys look great. Let's windmill back through that warrior two and find our side angle. So that forearm comes to rest on that bent left thigh. You can place the hand on a chair. It can be on your hip. Woo. It can be reaching towards the sky, or you can be charging fingertips towards me like you're trying to poke me in the eye over your ear. Find what works for your shoulder today. Put a bookmark here, make sure you're feeling all right. And then let's begin to flow with the breath. Coming up into our reverse warrior. Reach tall, deep inhale. Exhale. Slowly move it into side angle. Forearm comes to rest on that thigh. And the arm does whatever the heck that arm wants to do. You pick your poison. Inhale, coming up. And if you start to move faster or slower than the person next to you, that's beautiful. Embrace your own flow. Returning to that breath, feeling it fuel your movement as you come up into that reverse warrior and then down into that side angle at your own pace. Back and forth, like a windmill on a windy day. Except your windmills, they move slower than the average ones. Flow through that 2 more times. Finding that beautiful release through the back, that movement through the spine. As you strengthen hips, tilting back and forth, up and down. And meeting together in that warrior. Whenever you're there, straighten that front leg. We are going to come into that pyramid pose. So pointing both toes forward-ish. Square off your hips towards me. Show me the hip bones that you got. Beautiful. You can even put your hands there if you want to square them off towards the front. Shoulders, eyes, everything towards the front of the room. As we begin to hinge forward. Finding that stretch through that left hamstring now. Oh, that feels good. Breathe through it again, making that hinge come from the hips. Trying your best to keep that belly button on that spine elevator going up towards your heart. And as beautiful as this feels, we're going to come all the way out and move towards the front of our chair for a nice wide leg stance. Moving through a little Kriya here, so that's super fun. Toes point out. Some of you guys know what's coming next. Come down to a squat, and this time let's bring our arms in, and we can make some fists as we jab ourselves in our side body with our elbows. Come all the way down into that squat, as low as you want to go, and then press everything out. Widen the fingertips, starfish hands as you come up. Let's begin to flow through that at your own pace, slow as you want to go. Inhale, press everything out, widen out through those fingers. Exhale, come down into the squat. Inhale up, again moving slow, deliberately, like you mean it. Bringing in all of the fresh, fun things, all of the things you're thankful for as you come down into that squat, and pressing out all the yucky stuff that doesn't serve you as you reach fingertips forward. Continue to flow with your breath. Like molasses on a cold day, like a turtle in peanut butter, like a yogi who means what they're doing. Feels beautiful to find some width through those fingers too, pressing out and stretching those palms. So you come forward, up and down. Heart rate might be going up just a little bit. Good, it's supposed to. And bring the elbows in, a few more seconds. If you're sore tomorrow, send complaints to Sarah Gwen at gmail.com. And last time down, coming all the way up, pressing everything out as you rise up, reach tall, and then come into mountain pose on the right side of your chair. Whew. Taking a second to catch your breath, maybe grab some water. Being thankful that that heart's still beating. Sometimes you wonder, beats real fast and you're like, come on. I've never been so thankful for good lungs and good heart. Reconnecting with what you're thankful for as you bring that left foot back now. We are going to come into a high lunge. So this is different from our warrior in that I can come around and tickle your little heels if I wanted to. So the stance is a little different too. If this bothers your knees, make some adjustments, widen things out, change the angle of the back foot, and make sure your knees are okay. They're feeling loved. And go ahead and bend deeply into that right knee now. Maybe even squeaking in a little calf stretch if you're feeling like it. Then reach up with those hands. Bring them down to heart center as you bend that back left knee into a little bit of a squat. Again, that chair is there for you, a little lunge, and then reach up. You're good. And then exhale, slow, tiny, tiny bend in that back knee if you need it. And then up. And then slow, tiny, tiny bend in that back knee. And then reaching up. 2 more times, all the way down. And then up. All the way down. And then up. Oh, thank goodness. We're going to straighten those feet. Plop that back foot down on the ground. We're going to come into a triangle pose. So reach forward. Again, that chair's there for you. I'll show you the chair version. You can open up your arms towards the side if you want. But I'll keep my hand on the chair today. Reach forward until you just can't reach anymore. And then begin to tilt your torso towards the door. Beautiful. Now you can place that hand on the chair if that feels supportive. If you are a fan of good old-fashioned full triangle, you're welcome to try that as well. Maybe bringing one hand up to the sky. Again, that chair is there for you. Make sure that you're feeling okay about it. Bringing some strength into that front leg as you tighten through your obliques, trying to make your core as strong and as straight as it can be. A few more seconds. Eventually, this is what you're aiming for. But make sure you're okay before you get there. Reach forward like you just don't want to leave the pose. Oh, but you have to. I'm so sorry. Oh, and again, we're going to use that chair. So we are going to face the chair, face the door. Go ahead and put your right leg up on the chair. And we're going to twist towards the front of the room, feeling a gentle opening through that side of the hip. Now if you want to go full crazy banana pants and open up through your arm, you can do that. Finding that chair supported stork. Find that gentle twist. Breathe through it. One more good inhale. And then bring everything back towards the door. Hands come to heart center as that chair and that foot disconnects. We're going to come to a down dog. So relaxing, releasing everything towards the back of the room. Those hips reach towards the back. Again, you're welcome to widen those feet if you want, or you can find some stillness here. This is where yogis get to choose. You pick your poison. You can do that wide leg, one knee in, other knee in, loosen up the hips kind of thing. Or you can just find that stillness as tailbone reaches back, crown of the head reaches forward. Now do your best to not let the head fall below that chair. So if there was a laser beam poking out the top of your head, it would not blow up the chair in front of you. It's the best visual I can come up with for this. Making sure that head is above the heart. And then rising up, growing tall, moving to the left side of your chair. Maybe take a drink of water if you need it too. Because we're going to go into the same thing on the other side. Nobody seems terribly excited about that. We'll see what we can do to change that. So gliding that right foot back now, coming into your high lunge. Making sure the knees feel okay. Making sure you're finding that bend in that front left knee. Maybe even squeezing in a little calf stretch there as you press the heel towards the back. And then reach one arm up or both, up to you. And as you come down, bend that back right knee, finding your gentle lunge. And then inhale, reach up. Down into your lunge. Finding that breath, reconnecting with your gratitude. Breathing through it. Sometimes going slow isn't very easy, huh? It takes a little bit more work, a little more concentration. You guys can do it. 2 more. All the way down. Up. Oh, thank goodness. We're going to plant that back foot onto the floor. Boop. 45-ish degree angle. Maybe open up the hips a little bit. Find your adjustments that you need. Reach forward and come into triangle pose. Reaching that left hand forward towards the front of the room. And once you feel a good stretch and strengthen happen in that left thigh, you can windmill the arms around, remembering that that chair is always there to place your hands on. So much more important to keep that form good than to try and twist yourself into a pretzel and do something your body's not ready for. good to yourselves. Gentle with your bodies, understanding, loving, extending all of the gratitude to yourself and the miracle that is your body. You're extending to other things and people today. Reaching forward, coming out like you just don't want to leave the pose. Oh, but you have to, I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and place that left foot on the chair now, coming into that hip stretch on the other side. So finding that supported stork, we are going to open our hearts towards the front of the room. Again, option to open all the way through that arm, if that's available to you. If not, just keep it right there on that hip. As you feel a gentle stretch through that front left hip. Beautiful. Breathe through it. Go taller through the crown of your head before you twist any deeper. Now you can get yourself into a pretty good pretzel here if you want, by bending your spine and going all the way around. Whoa, that's yucky. We don't want to do that. We want to be strong yogis, not pretzel yogis. All the way back, finding that down dog at the back of your chair. Beautiful. Again, yogi's choice. You can find that wide-legged hip opening stance, or you can bring feet together and try and stretch out that low back a little bit more. So, clue into what your body is hungry for. Figure out what you need and adjust accordingly. And again, doing your best to keep your head pointed above that chair. Don't blow up your chair with your imaginary laser. Wouldn't be very fun. And coming all the way back up, moving to the right side of your chair. So much more fun in store. Woo! Too much stuff here. We're gonna glide that left foot back, finding our warrior one once again. Good old warrior one friend. Now that you know how to make the adjustments that your body needs, dig right on into it. One hand up or both, up to you. We're gonna pause and hold here for just a little while, finding our breath, breathing in as the crown goes taller, breathing out, tailbone presses down, maybe bending into that front right bent knee just a little bit more. Beautiful, breathe through it. Now you notice I am making a bologna sandwich with my head, and you guys are copying me. This is a bad yogi habit that I have developed over years of practice. Recently been debunked. Find YMCA arms. Really plug those shoulders back and down into that torso. Opening up is beautiful. And again, bringing that mind into that belly button, feeling it rise up the spine as it connects, presses back, finding that strength through the torso. Oh, almost there. Deep breath. Find a little bit more bend in that knee as you bring that left hand back. Warrior two. Now if that back foot wants to change just a little bit, go ahead and let it. That angle sometimes feels a little bit different in warrior two. As we open up our heart towards the door, pressing hands towards the front and back of the room. If this is getting to be too much on shoulders and they're feeling like they're not able to press down and back anymore, you can always hang on to that chair. It's there for you. It loves you. Bend deep. Continuing to breathe through the pose. Finding a little peace, a little stillness, and something that might not be very comfortable. Connecting with the breath, the things that you're thankful for, as you find your power and your strength. And then bring that right arm towards the sky for humble warrior. Yes, you are still bent through that knee. Yes, it is still strengthening. Find your edge and breathe through it. So easy in this pose to collapse into that back hip just a little bit. See if you can bring your torso up and out, reaching towards the ceiling before you arch back. Yes, the fingertips are getting a little bloodshot by now. There's some tinglies maybe. It's supposed to be that way. We're making our heart work. Oh, we'll come out a few seconds early, back through warrior two. Find your side angle. Hold it there. That forearm comes to that thigh. As you bend deeper, find your breath. Connect with your power. Feel strong, solid. Breathe through it. Again, chair is there. If it doesn't feel good having that arm all the way up, this can really pinch some rotator cuff stuff if that's a problem for you. So always feel free to press that shoulder down. Torso's where it's at. As long as it's behaving, you are doing great. Oh, almost there. Reach up. Find that warrior two again. Straighten the leg. Beautiful. Reach forward. Find your triangle pose. So reach, reach, reach. And then when you can't reach anymore, windmill the arms around. Again, you could find that calf, that shin, or you can rest the hands on the chair. As long as that torso is feeling straight, there's your goal. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Breathe through it. The heart's probably beating a little by now. Totally fine. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's doing its job. And then coming all the way back up. Oh, hallelujah. We are going to bring our feet together on the side of our chair, finding a little lower down dog this time. So pressing your hands into the chair and stretching out through that low back. See if you can stretch out through the shoulders too. So this is a deep, deep shoulder stretch if you bring the hips back all the way. Breathe through it, keeping that gaze in between the thumbs. See if you can look at your thumbs. That's going to keep you from getting the woozies when you come back up. One more good inhale. One more good exhale. Rising all the way up. Let's come to the left side of our chair. Maybe grabbing some water along the way. Yeah, I'm putting you through faces today. Sorry. If you are eating turkey next week, we'll make you earn it. Let's glide that right foot back. Finding your warrior right out the gate. So that back foot, 45-ish degree angle. Bend front left knee. Dig deep, reach up. Maybe one, maybe both hands. This is your pose. Make sure it's working for you. Oh, again, widen the arms. What in the world? I really got to kick that habit. Making sure that knee feels bent. Oh, you guys are good with the knees. Beautiful. Breathe through it. Finding some peace, some strength, some focus in your warrior one. Once again, bringing to mind what you're thankful for, those things that drive you. Maybe slowing down that breath just a little bit too. Feeling that 4 by 5 breath. And then bringing that hand back, finding your warrior two. Opening your heart towards the great outdoors. Beauty of the window. Breathe here. Again, do your best to press the shoulders back and down. That'll relieve some pressure on that rotator cuff there. All those muscles, we want to treat them well. If that back foot opens just a little bit, it's beautiful. Oh, you guys are having no problem with this, but usually you need to press your knee back towards the door just a little bit because the muscles begin to fatigue and your thigh's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And it begins to fall in. Oh, so close. Breathe through it. Find your power. And then reach those left fingertips towards the sky. Find that reverse warrior, that humble warrior. Breathe through it, finding some space between ribs and hips. As you wave hello, try to tickle the ceiling. It's a fun thought. And flowing all the way into that side angle. Your version. Forearm comes down to the thigh, hinging at the hips. You can grab onto the chair. You can place your hand on your hip. You can reach those right fingertips towards the sky, or those right fingertips could be reaching towards the front of the room. You pick your poison. Figure out what your body wants. And bring it back through warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Oh yeah, you're earning it today. Reach forward. You can do this last big push. Find your triangle pose. Windmilling the arms around. Maybe using that chair to keep your alignment the way it should be. The arms are a beautiful bonus, but the heart's where it's at. Make sure that heart is pointing out the window as you engage through your obliques. Keeping that strong, straight spine, feeling that beautiful stretch and strengthen through that front left leg. And then reach forward, coming all the way out. Moving to the front of your chair. Oh, maybe grabbing some water. You're almost out of the woods. You're so close. Reaching for some water. So we move through our last little push here. Whoever knew moving so slow could be so taxing. Goodness. We are going to widen those feet out. And we're going to move through some sunflowers and moonflowers. So coming down into that squat, again, bring those arms in and open up. So it's like you're waving hello. If this doesn't feel awkward and weird, you're not doing it right. You should feel totally funny right now. Go ahead and reach up as you come tall. And then hinge from the hips as you come back into that squat. And scoop up sunshine, some sparkles, some rainbows on the floor in front of you. Sprinkle them over your head. Coming back into those moonflowers now. Elbows come in towards the side body as you wave hello. And then reaching up, come into your sunflowers all the way down. Bringing some juice and heat to those hips and those shoulders today. Reaching up, sprinkle it above your head. And come into that moonflower, waving hello, all the way up. And then scoop something off the floor as you hinge at the hips, find some release to that low back. Moving with your breath. If you want to go a little bit slower than me, I am going to applaud you. That sounds great, you should do that. Finding your pace. As we flow back and forth for just a few more seconds. Making sure those hips are coming back towards the chair. They really want to sit in the chair right now. Let them. They're moving that way. Bring that weight into the heels, making sure that those toes can still wave hello. One more each side. Finding that 5-pointed star now, reach up. And come to mountain pose at the front of your chair. Ooh. We're just going to take a second to feel our hearts, feel them beat. Begin to breathe deeply and intentionally. Reconnecting with your breath, your body, the things that you're thankful for. Still feeling yourself strong from feet to crown of head. Mountain pose is so beautiful because it engages everything from heels to hips to shoulders. Simply stand, a little bit of power as you slow down your breath. Make sure you're okay. And then we are going to come to sit in our chair. Oh, hallelujah. Again, if you want some water, grab some water. I will never, ever tell you that you can't drink water. It's beautiful, beautiful. But we're not quite out of the woods yet. Sorry, we're almost there. We are going to turn our hearts towards the window as we drop that left knee off the chair. We're going to flow through some very slow, very methodical seated warriors as we stretch out our our quads and our hip flexors. So you can tuck that toe as you press the heel back towards the door, finding your stretch. So maybe you need to bring that knee in closer towards the window just a little bit. Maybe you want to really go bananas and crazy bonkers, and you really press that heel towards the door. Maybe, if that's still not a good enough stretch for you, releasing the laces of the sneakers down onto the ground. Just letting gravity pull that knee towards the floor. You find what your body's okay with today. Make sure you're feeling okay with the chair, nice, tight, solid. And then begin to bring that left hand towards the sky, maybe followed by the right. And breathe here. Feel the release through that hip. Gazing out the window. Imagining all of that cool air coming in, refreshing you. Beautiful. And we are going to come back, hands to heart center. I'm going to twist it out just a little bit. So stay here. You're going to try to look towards the back of the room as your hands connect to the back of the chair. Now you find your twist, always remembering to grow strong and straight and tall through the crown of the head before you twist any deeper. Maybe even needing to come out if that low back is just not feeling it today. Find your edge. Tuck in that tummy, breathe through it. And then coming all the way forward, and you will notice that your legs are wide. That is beautiful. We are going to scrape our forearms along our beautiful thighs as we come into a wide leg forward fold. Releasing through the back. Go ahead and keep those hands on those thighs. That's going to make sure that you hinge at your hip and that the head doesn't go below the heart. So try to keep those shoulders away from the ears, hinging like the lid of a treasure chest as you come down. It'll open up that low back, those hips. Oh, it feels so good. Keeping that spine long, strong, and straight for just a few more seconds. And then coming all the way up, we are going to turn everything we got towards the door. Because that's kind of where we want to go, right? Bringing that right knee down off the chair now. Take just a second to adjust. Make sure that you're feeling comfortable. You're good with the chair. Maybe that foot wants to press towards the window just a little bit more to open up that hip. Maybe not. Maybe it wants to come towards the door. Maybe the laces of the sneakers, I can speak, I swear, come down onto the floor. Maybe not. So find your edge, find your stretch, and then bring one hand up or both into your kneeling warrior one. And breathe through it. Feeling the knee pulling towards the ground with gravity. Being mindful of your low back in this pose. You made a beautiful adjustment where you hinge forward towards the door just a little bit to take that pressure off the low back. Oh, that was exactly what you should do. That was so cool to see. Breathe through. Feel it release. And then bringing those hands down to heart center. Let's twist towards the back of our chair. Again, this side might be a little different than the other. Find your edge, making sure that you grow tall through the spine before you turn your heart anywhere. Gently unwinding, coming back. Both hips planted firmly on the chair. Oh, once again, we're in that nice wide leg position. Very cool. Let's do a wide leg child's pose here. Forearms are on the thighs as you hinge forward from the hips. Again, trying your best to keep that head above that heart. Making sure you don't leave class with woozies today, in addition to a whole lot of strength that you just built. Feel the back, the hips. Bring the mind into where your body feels the stretch. Maybe making tiny little micro adjustments, seeing what that does. And tightening the core just a little bit. Maybe bringing the shoulders down. And then rising all the way up. Let's heel toe those feet in, and we are going to savor a beautiful pigeon pose. So you got a couple of options here for pigeon. We're going to start with our left knee coming to our right, or our left ankle coming to our right knee. So you can straighten that right leg, cross at the shins, and just let that knee fall out. If that's where your hips are today, hang out right there. It's a beautiful option. And it'll help you open up that hip same way as the alternate version that we're going to do. You also have the choice to press that right foot into the ground as the ankle comes across the knee. Feeling free to wiggle it out just a little bit, maybe finding some movement in that ankle. Anchoring both hips into the ground, into the chair as you hinge forward. Bringing the attention off of that knee and just letting gravity do the work. Maybe letting head and neck fall as you release any last tension you might be holding through those hips. Feeling a deep stretch. Letting everything drain. Breathing in deeply. And as you exhale, try to release just a little bit more. Then bringing that attention into those sits bones, that connection with the chair, starting there. Slowly begin to round up, one vertebrae at a time. Again, taking all the time you need. Feeling the low back strengthen and straighten as the mid back connects, and the upper back. Let's do it on the other side. Bring that ankle down, crossing the right ankle over the left knee now. Again, you always have that beautiful option to straighten through the leg and just let the knee fall out as you cross at the shins. So find what's going to work for your body. Maybe on this side is a little tighter. Figure out what you need. Bring those hips onto the chair, maybe pulling out the seat cushions just a little bit so you got a good tight connection there. And then begin to fold forward. Feeling gravity take over, do all the work. As you release through your head, your neck, your shoulders. Feeling space begin to develop between the shoulder blades. As you melt into this deep, deep, deep hip stretch. Deepening the breath, maybe sending the breath to that low back. Seeing what that does to your hips. And then bringing that attention into those hip bones once again, slowly starting to round up, tightening through that pelvic floor. Feeling that belly button hop onto the elevator one more time as it rises up towards your heart. Beautiful. Gently releasing that ankle down now. As the feet just rest on the floor. Try to press. Simply let them fall there. And this is the point in your practice where if you have a mudra, a hand position that you especially enjoy, you're welcome to take that. If not, you just rest your hands on your lap. Make it easy on yourself. As we begin to deepen the breath, maybe closing down the eyes, or maybe just softening the gaze. Connect with your breath in this moment. Simply noticing how it feels. Noticing the speed of the breath. Noticing the temperature of the breath. Noticing the depth of your breath. Gently in your mind, beginning to repeat the words as you inhale, I am breathing in. And as you exhale, repeating the words in your mind, I am breathing out. And then gently replacing those phrases with something that you're thankful for. Bringing to mind the word that you're thankful for as you breathe in. Repeating that word as you breathe out. Breathing in gratitude. And breathing out gratitude. Gratitude for the present moment and the fullness of life now is the essence of true prosperity. Gently beginning to deepen that breath now, bringing in more oxygen, more air into the lungs. And then slowing down that breath as you exhale every last bit of air from the lungs, the chest, the stomach. Breathing in just a little bit deeper, feeling that spine lengthen as the crown of the head drifts towards the ceiling. Exhale, shoulders fall away from you. Trying to lengthen the spine with that breath one more time. And then on your next inhale, bringing the shoulders up towards the ears. And then letting them fall. Doing that just a couple more times. Shoulders come up on the inhale, drift down on the exhale. Next time the shoulders come up on the exhale, letting the hands fall down by the side, bringing gentle organic movement into fingertips and toes. And then sweeping the arms up above the head, pausing there for just a moment as you feel yourself grow taller, straighter, stronger. Bringing some blood flow back to fingertips. And then bringing hands to prayer pose, tucking all of the things that you're thankful for into your heart space. Thank you for being here today and practicing with me. Namaste.